A very good morning to all. It is an absolute honor to introduce Dr. Chander Mohan Gupta, a distinguished academician, researcher, and global thought leader. With over 18 years of experience in academia and the corporate sector, he has made remarkable contribution to financial crime analysis, taxation, and forensic accounting. Currently an associate professor at Shoolini University and visiting professor in Uzbekistan, Dr. Gupta's expertise is recognized worldwide. His groundbreaking predator model for financial crime analysis highlighted his innovative research. He actively collaborates with institutions across Russia, the USA, Indonesia, and Japan, shaping global research and policy discussion. Today, we are privileged to hear from him on an essential topic, protecting intellectual property rights and IP management for startups. In a rapidly evolving business landscape, safeguarding innovation is key to long-term success. Dr. Gupta will share critical insights on securing and managing IP in the startup ecosystem. So get ready for engaging and enriching session. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka. A very good morning to all. Hope I'm audible. Can I have a thumbs up, please? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, not taking much of your time, I will straight away share my window so that we can. Is my window visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Visible.
Thank you. So, just give me a minute. Okay. So, I'll start with a small prayer. I offer my obeisance to the divine in you. So, not checking further ado. The topic for today is protecting intellectual property rights and IP management for startups in India. Before we deep dive into the topic, let's understand what IPR and what startups mean for India. Can I have an echo? There's an echo in the background. Can you stop that? Thank you. So, when we talk about intellectual property, this is the whole topic what we are, but we need to understand what startups are initially. And when we say startups, this is a jargon which is being highlighted in, let's say, a last half a decade, and people have become multimillionaires or billionaires from this. What this new concept has come in, what is changed because of this, is that this is something where new generation or millennials like you or Gen Zs like you are coming together, putting in their efforts, taking risks, and starting up what they dream of. As we go back 20 years or 30 years down the line, we see that people like me who were young graduates at that time were afraid of startups, was afraid of starting a business. But this is not what it is today. Today, people work towards their dreams, and surprisingly, the policies of the government are so strong, so supportive that they can achieve anything. So, taking friends, let's introduce the topic and try to understand what IPRs are. So, when we say IPR, intellectual property right is something which gives you a competitive advantage and market positioning. Let's take example of boat. There were speakers, there were music systems, there were everything. But boat came in, produced not world class quality, but yes, relatively good quality. Everything is being manufactured in China. They are not manufacturing their own, but yes, they are giving the opportunity for people to work. And what they have done, they have taken a level where they can be considered as one of the market leaders. Why? Because they knew what the generation wanted, from where they can procure, and they provided the platform. So that is what gives you a competitive advantage when you go into it. If you want to understand what competitive advantage is, let's go back 100 years and understand the formula of Coca Cola, which is still the most protected IPR in the world. When we say market positioning, we are talking about one that says that where you are positioning your product, are you the elite one? Are you the best one? Let's understand. And nowadays, boat has come up with boats. Yvonne, these are the products which are creating wave in the market. Second is investor interaction. Now, initially, when the startups were not over there, investors were also not over there. Venture capitalists were not over there. Angel financiers were not over there. The banks were reluctant in paying loans. Why? Because Indian economy was not open. We don't have a lot of money, but now we have money, we have efficiency, and we have something which we call opportunities. If you have an IPR, if you have a product idea which can change the world, people are going to come to you. The only thing is you have to be quick enough to respond, quick enough to take the initiative, quick enough to grab the opportunity. Why? Because then only you can attract these investors, because you are not the only one who's thinking to grab them. People around the globe are finding investors, and what they want is the best of the idea. Then comes innovation security and commercial viability. Now, people talk about ideation, people talk about developing an IPR, protecting an IPR, but how many IPRs or how many patents which are granted by the patent agency can be commercialized? That is the biggest question. That is the biggest question mark in the journey of IPR and startups. So when we say about commercial viability, let's say I'm wearing a spectacles. Yes, nowadays lens cannot have come with a spectacles which cannot be broken. Innovative idea, but is it innovative? Commercially viable? Yes, it is. Why? Because young generation kids cannot handle spectacles. And the way our screen time is increasing, everybody is walking towards eye problems. We would be needing lens card or other eye providers, eyewear providers to support us. When we talk about the characteristics of intellectual property, let's go with the journey. So the first is these are intangible assets. When we say intangible assets, first thing first, IPRs in mind. IPR is just an idea. It is just an idea which is there over in their mind of a person who has encountered a problem in his personal life and tried to find a solution for it. It's as simple as that. But is it as simple as it looks like? No. Why? Because identifying a problem is the biggest thing. People take it for granted. Okay, this is the way this is. It is not a problem. People are living with this, and we can also live with it. But there are some questioning minds between us which think, okay, this is a problem. This is, if I'm facing this, maybe 10 other people face this, or 20 other people face this, and I have to find a solution for that. That makes it an intangible asset. Why? Because it cannot be touched, which the characteristics of accounting says, and it has a valuation. Remember, every intellectual property has a valuation. Then comes exclusive right. It comes with exclusive rights, rights of ownership, rights of usage, rights of granting authority. Intangible assets or intellectual properties can be used as money making machine for a specified period of time. Why? Because it is time bound. When I say specified period of time, there are time bound protection given by the government to the intellectual property. When we talk about this and we go ahead with it, we try to understand that it is not just as simple as finding the right way, finding the right answer to a problem, or just getting the rights for it. But the government says if you have a solution, it will be just for a time bound period with you, and then it will be open for the world to use. Why? Because we cannot hinder in the process of development. So, intellectual property cannot be a tool to go into monopoly. If you all are commerce background students, and I think you understand the term monopoly, then is territorial in nature. A patent which has been registered in India would be secured in India, but if you want to have an international patent, you have to file in US. That is what the law says. So it is territorial in nature. You have a copyright trademark patent granted for a territorial work. Copyright, yes, if you have published internationally, then you are safeguarding it internationally. It encourages innovation and creativity. When I say encourages innovation and creativity, things change. When you find a new and innovative do of doing something, trust me, first it saves times and it gives you a lot of courage. It encourages you to do new things, new innovations with time. Then is transferable and licensable. When I say transferable, this is an extension to time bound protection and exclusive rights. For 20 years, if a patent is being granted, you can transfer and license it to another person to use. I'll give you a very simple example. 20 years back, power steering came into play. And when the power steering was introduced in the cars, what happened? It was a intellectual property right and exclusive rights were with the company which developed it. So, in a very clear notion, how it is important and how to. For 20 years, Maruti used this technology and was paying 5,000 rupees per car to the company which gave it. And as an example, we have Volvo also. Volvo always claim there is a Volvo in every car. Why they claim this? Because seat belts which Volvo designed gave them for free to the world. They never protected it under patents, right? And they said it is the right of every human being to be safe when they are in a car. So they gave it free to the world and is being used by everyone throughout the world. Legal enforcement. When I say exclusive rights and they have been transferable, yes, there are legal implications to it. And this is what we are going to start today. Then requires registrations, but for some types. Now, when I talk about design patent, trademarks, these are to be registered. But when I say a copyright, as soon as it gets published, let's say I wrote a paper, I published it in an international journal, it becomes my copyright. Okay, he's the person. I write a book, I get it published, it becomes my copyright. That okay. Yeah, but yes, we can get it copyrighted under Copyrights Act in India. Then is economic and competitive edge. When I say exclusive rights are transferable and licensable under law, I am giving economic advantage or competitive advantage to myself. If I have done something which is very effective, very innovative, and know that it is going to solve a lot of people's problem, I can have economic and competitive advantage on that. And the last is moral. When I talk about moral and ethical consideration, I am talking about that it is the right and it is the ethical consideration which the company should have, the ones holding the patent and the ones using it. Now, the biggest fight that is between patents, I think you can remember, or I think you must have gone through the case of Samsung and Apple, where Samsung fought and lost. And the beauty of this was even Samsung lost. They made it a news when they paid to Apple. Now, this is a homework which you people can go through. Try to find out this funny case, and you will understand what exclusive rights are, what legal enforceability are, and what moral and ethical considerations are. So, when we talk about the importance of IPRs for startups, so IPRs give startups a competitive edge. They have that unique idea which nobody has. They have a unique formula which nobody has. They have a unique problem solving ability which nobody had. And when they had it, they can use it to earn more, to be above their competitor. So when we say in marketing, you must have heard the term called positioning. That is a competitive edge for the startups when they have IPR. Then is monetization and licensing. When we say monetization, we are getting money out of it. We are licensing or selling it. How this can be explained? Let's try to understand it this way. If you have an IPR, if you can commercially materialize it, you are going to make money. If it is so good that Tam Pam Sam is over there and you know that every person needs it, you are going to make money. As simple as that. And when you get it protected, you can give in license to different producers, different industries, different commercial variables, and they will give you money. That is called licensing. Then comes investors' confidence. If you have a competitive edge, if you have a great patent, any single investor would love to invest in your company. They will run behind you like a golden goose. You will be a golden goose for them. Why? Because they can understand that you are giving them a solution which is over there and nobody has provided till now. Now, I'll give you an example of medicine form, and that is the best I can give you over here. Today, we are working on RNA medicines. RNA medicines are the medicines with no side effects, or they are specifically designed to trigger and target the problematic area. If you have a problem in the eye, the RNA medicines will only and only target your eye, and no side effects are over there, or minimal side effects are over there. Now, if a person who has a competitive edge holds a patent of RNA medicines, every pharma company will be behind that person that, okay, fine, please give us this license, please sell us this patent. And if the person wants to open his own industry, the companies or the investors will be ready to invest in that company. That is the advantage of IPR for startups and market expansion. So when we say market expansion, we are talking about that a lot and lot of market expansion is happening. People will know you if you can develop. Now let's take example of corona vaccine. It came, it helped us solve some problems, and now it is of no use. Why? Because it was specifically for corona. Now, but the advantage is that we have something in our hands that if there comes another problem like that, we can develop medicines quickly. When we talk about the intellectual properties in India, I think you all know about these. I don't want to get into explanation of this, but yes, let's go on. Patents protects new innovations. The duration is 20 years and applicable for innovative products and processes. Now, over here, I would stop and ask you a question. You must know what is the difference between innovation and discovery. If you have this idea clearly in your mind, then only you can give better answers for IPR. So when we say patents, patents are something which new inventions have been done, and discovery is something which was always over there but was found or explored. And Indian context, it gives you 20 years. Trademarks protects brand names and logos. 10 years, it is renewable. We have best examples are Toyota, Tata, Adidas, Nike, Reebok. These logos are trademarks. Copyrights, it's creative. Now remember, this is a beautiful thing. I was in a fix when I heard about this and I knew it but couldn't register it when I started it. Copyright says you wrote a poem and it will be there with you and your intellectual property rights till you are alive and will be with your family after your death for 60 years. So think about it. If you write something at the age of 20, you die at the age of 80, that makes that your family will earn from that copyright for 120 years. That is copyrights. Now, why? Because the latest case was Harivansh Rai Bachchan, which had life, and it was his 60th death anniversary 2 years back, where Amitabh Bachchan filed a case in the court of law asking that he should be given the rights of the copyrights, but it was denied. Why? Because it is out of the provision now. When we say designs, designs are something which you have designed, like a design of a car, design of a home, design of a bottle, water bottle, or maybe a cup, maybe a phone. It can be protected for 10 years plus 5 years of expansion. That is what it is over there. And trade secrets, no questions asked. We are talking about Coca Cola, Pepsi, uh, Feviquick, business models, algorithms, everything that is over there. That is a trade secret which is over there present. And these are the type of IPs which we talk about. Then, when we talk about patents, now take step by step. How do we protect patents? Patents can be protected. We have to check whether the patent is novel. If the patent is novel, we need to understand that yes, this will work effectively, and nothing of the similar type is over there. You have Google Scholar for whole search, you have Google Patent to find certain things which you want to find in relation of patents. Then you file your provisional patent to secure the early priority. You have to file it. There's a government website where you can go. And there is a rule that a patent agent should be involved in filing a patent. But yes, you can explore yourself, and we can have another session of how to file a patent over there. Then you complete the patent, and within 1 year, you will get the results to it. If there are some problems, they will get back to you. If there are certain appeals against your patent, they will also come to you. Why? Because now everything is online. And then comes, you have to make the payments. Above all, you have to protect your patent. Why? Because the day your medicine comes out, the day your product comes out, it is a prototype and now you're selling it. It is easy for people to copy it. It is either too easy for people to just innovate a certain things of changes in, and they can have their own patent. Now, when we talk about trademarks, conduct a trademark search as right, then file an application with the Indian Trademark Registry and use TM during application and R registered trademark after approval. So remember, these are something important which you have to have. TM, you have applied after you have got the approval. Again, this cannot be taught to you in this webinar, that how to file a trademark, how to file a patent, how to file a copyright. But yes, we can think about it in the coming lectures. Then we have copyright. Again, you have to file it with the Copyright Office of India and upload your file, pay the fees, and if there is no questions or no appeal against it, it will be granted to you. Industrial design patent. So you have to file in the design office under Design Act 2000, and you will be granted if it is novel and there is no similarity found in any other existing design patent. Now, how would you say and how would you explain design patent? Because people say, sir, design patent is like a patent. No, it is not. If you make a design of a chair, it is a design patent. If you make a keyless lock, it is a design patent. But the day you make the prototype, it becomes a patent. Now, because you have a product. Till the time it is on page, it is a design patent. So just remember this. Just remember this in your mind. So trade secrets, again, use non-disclosure agreements. I'll give you the example of Feviquick over here. Every one of us must have got it stuck in our hand. There were 9 people who started this company. And after a few years, one of the friends said that I don't want to win the rat run and I want to leave. And he left. But he had to sign the non-disclosure agreement that he will neither join a company, neither start his own company, and if found guilty, he will be legally sued. So that is the level of trade secret protection which Coca-Cola has. Implementation of cybersecurity and measures, you have to be very clear when it is trade secrets. Why? Because nowadays everybody can get a recipe of McDonald's burger or KFC chicken nuggets online. But can you make them at home? No. Even if you know the right temperature, even if you know the right ingredients, you won't be 100% equal to that. And then includes confidentiality clauses in contracts. So we will have that confidentially contract clauses which saves you from it. Everyone nowadays, when you join a company, they go for an NDA, they go for a confidentiality clause in the contract of your job profile. Also, so think about it, they are saving their trade secrets. So, what are the government initiatives when we say about startups? So, when we say Startup India, just go through this website and you will find beautiful way of securing your intellectual property, beautiful way of securing funding for your startup. They are over there to help. Startup India intellectual property protection. Then we have National IPR Policy 2016, which was an act in 2016. Patent fee reduction for startups. You will be surprised that there is a level of discount or maybe reduction in funds or fees which has been provided for startups if they go for patent. A minimum patent fee would be 50,000, right, from the application to the end, but it comes down to 80% if you go through startups. And we have facilitators for IP filings. I must say that your university must have an IP cell which is helping you people to file patents. And if not, we are open. We can be in touch and we can help you with patents. These see 80% reduction in the startups, and the government is also using it. So IP portfolio management. How do you want to? First, if you have a patent on which you think you can run the show, you have to be very clear that you have to maintain a record of it. You have to have every detail of the patent you have, the time period for which you have, if you have given it commercially, if you have given it to someone else, you have to have it in writing. You should have everything in detailed with your patent. Then as you should be very clear that you have audits, regular audits. If it is not external audit, at least you should have internal audits regularly, at least once a year, so that you have continuous protection and monetization. Then you should have a revenue through license. That means you should be giving licenses. Now, see, remember, in a startup, one should always know what TAM, PAM, SAM is, total acquirable market and acquirable market, what you can acquire. Let's say the total industry that you are targeting is have 50 crore population, which will come under. But is your company strong enough to provide the solution to 50 crore people? If not, you cannot acquire that market. So what you have to do is you have to go for licensing, you have to go for commercialization, and you have to go for outsourcing of your work because you individually cannot fulfill all the need. And then when you can't fulfill all the need, the people will question your integrity that you are trying to keep everything with yourself and trying to keep monopoly. And when this thing comes, then government comes into play and then things can get dirty. You have to have your legal cell very strong. You have to have people who are over there to support you when need. You need to understand that these are the people who will help you work, get through any problems. Why? Because these legal professionals are the ones who will guide you through the storm. And when I say the word strong, I mean it because legal fights can be dirty. If you have ever traveled towards Delhi from Chandigarh, you must have seen a big left hand side area which is now a forest that was a pearl grove. Legal fights. A 3,000 crore startup. which vanished. That is legal issues. That is what legal issues can lead to. Then, what are the common IP challenges for startups? Let's go. It is very high. It is really, really, really very high to set up a IP registration and enforcing. See, idea till the time it is in your mind, it is free, free of cost. But when you try to bring that idea on paper, it becomes exclusive. When you try to bring that idea from the paper to your prototype, again, it is achievable. But when you commercially try to sell it, then things get complicated. Then things get ugly. Why? Because a huge chunk of money is needed. People are not aware. People think they have the idea, they have got the patent, now everything is done. No, not everything is done. You have to implement it. That is why I laid a very strong emphasis on commercial viability. If your idea is not commercial viable, if you have 40 patents in your name and still none of the idea is patentable, none of the idea is commercially viable, and none of the idea can be thrown in the market, it is of use. Then is risk of IP threat. I told you, non-disclosure agreements, confidentiality, everything is to be taken into account. Why? Because there is IP theft, and then comes global IP protection. Yeah, if you want a global IP protection, you have to go for a US patent application, not an Indian patent application. You have to file a patent in US to get international protection for your patent. Now, what are the solutions? Leverage government incentives and subsidies. I told you, go on Startup IP India, and you will find a lot of government credits till 35 lakh rupees you can think of. There are pro bono and low cost legal support. When I say pro bono, that means free. When I say low cost, that means people help young entrepreneurs for a minimal cost, but this minimal cost comes with certain asterisks. You have to see that in mind. When it is pro bono, then definitely it is free. And then comes an alternate dispute resolution is always over there. That means ADR. This is a law term in which you try to resolve your conflicts using people, using different people, common people coming in, and you want to keep it out of court. It is called out of court settlement. Though court also gives you an option of ADR. But when you go for MOUs, there is always a ADR resolution or comment over there. So that is all for today. I'm open for questions. Thank you. May the divine keep you all harm's way. I'm open for questions.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Sakshi.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I have a question that what if somebody has a name patented? Can we keep the name on our Insta or social media handles?
See, when you are talking about handles, handles, you can get them copyrighted, but subject to no other person on any other platform is using it. So you need to be the first one to do that. That is why if you see now suggestions are given by the social media handles that okay, this is what happens. This is how it works.
Okay, sir.
Is it good?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I also have a question.
Yes.
Sir, how we can use a copyright without having a infringement strike? For
Uh,
example,
yeah.
uh, like just say, uh, if we want to use a song in our YouTube video, how we can protect our video from getting copyright strike?
The first thing is you have to get the usage rights from the owner of that song. Free to use. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you're
I
audible.
have- Yeah, yeah. So first, you have to use free. You can use the free songs which are available on Few Music that
Okay.
different websites provide. First thing is that. Second, if you want to use a song which is a copyright one, you have to take the permission from the original owner.
Yes, sir.
If you don't do the both, then third, I think you should just pray that you never caught.
Uh,
Because till the time your video or your intellectual property makes a wave in the world, you won't have a problem. But legally, you will have a problem if your animation, if your idea gets a handhold. If you get views, then it is going to be a problem. But my suggestion would be use free music, which people are using throughout the world. And nowadays, what people are giving, they are giving the user rights very easily. That is why the latest songs are being trending so much.
okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Next question. Garima, can you be a bit loud, Betu? Can you be a bit loud? Can't hear you. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Sir, how the technology like AI, blockchain impacting the IP laws or practices?
See, when you're talking now, let me rephrase the question that you have. You are talking about the AI, blockchain, impacting the intellectual property, right? Garima, did I get you right? Because your voice was cracking in between.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
if I say that these are the problems, remember one thing. IT Act is one thing which needs to be amended every year. Why? Because the changes in intellectual property and the changes in information technology is happening so rapidly that the law is behind. So every time there is a problem, then the solution comes after maybe 6 months. So you are right that we have problem and we have to be very clear about these things. But definitely the law is working towards it. But the problem with Indian law is that we have different laws for different problems. We should have one specific Information Technology Act taking care of AI, blockchain, cybercrime, everything. So I hope I answered your question. Another question? Can I have a question, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I guess there are no more questions. So thank you so
Okay.
much, sir, for joining today. And I
Thank
hope
you, everyone.
that
Thank you.
the
Thank you for
people
inviting.
here, the students have actually learned so well. Like I used to learn from you. And yes, Anshika is here already.
Yeah, Anshika.
As we conclude this insightful session, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Sir. Your real life example made complex concept very easy, and the session was highly knowledgeable and truly engaging. Thank you, sir, for your valuable effort. As token of appreciation, we present this memento to you. And thank you once again. We look forward to more such inspiring session in the future.
Thank you, Anshika. Thank you. May the divine keep you all of harm's way. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
so much,
Thank you
sir.
for the
Thank you so
opportunity.
much.
Looking forward for some new sessions because I think filing patent is something which is required, right? Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sahil. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone.